uh, started the stream. So, welcome to everyone watching. This is me being slightly unprofessional, and today we are going to do the week 1 recap of Gman, and we are going to focus on Division 3 mostly, but we will still look at the leaderboards and the match results of the other two divisions as well. With me, as always, will be Viking Cop
Good evening, guys.
and Infinite Pink.
Hey there.
So, yeah, we're going to look at Division White 1 first and just look at the matches, I assume.
Yeah, I think we're going to spend a bit more time looking at Div 3 this week. So we'll start on Div 1, just quickly going through the games, and then work our way down to Div 3 and maybe actually have a look into the games a little bit more or something.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Div 1 already had one casualty with Bobby being tank having to quit due to real life issues, I believe. So, one down, 13 to go.
That was your game, wasn't it, Viking Cop?
It was my game. Sorry, I killed the guy before playing him. Apologies. No, it's really a pity. I really I'm sad because of this because real life strikes and then you have to drop and you have to move away for some time and then you miss this amazing season that we are going to have in Gman 1 with everybody dying all the time. So well, pity, but I'm sure that Bobby will be back sooner than later.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks to lose a good coach, especially when he has such an amazing team. So, yeah, the first match on the list is me versus Bane on of the Living, and I won it, and I was very happy, even though I got fouled like 14 times, and the ref didn't notice.
He was just being lazy at the side of the pitch
Yeah.
that game.
Like, he bought 2 bribes against me with his endorsements, and pretty much fouled nearly every turn, and the ref just didn't care. He
Did you
didn't.
not use the prize then?
He used 1 bribe on like turn 15 or something silly like that. But no one
Well, I guess
died.
is that good for you? That's like wasted inducement money there.
Well,
I'm not sure I
that's
quite
one way
understand
to look.
that.
That's one way to look at life.
Well,
So
you got the win though.
yeah, I was happy with getting a win to start the season. Always nice to see a win. Yeah, we also had Orc Haikus taking down Jungle Corsairs. I believe this is Halub's first time really being in Division 1, and he took down an old veteran, so that's a good time for him.
Yeah, it's a good starting, best beginning possible.
Yeah.
Because the Dark Elves from Dream Fi are never easy to beat.
Yeah, he knows how to play, and he never gives up, which are both very important to winning.
Yeah, and it's I guess for once it's kind of nice to see an Orc team winning because there aren't any in the other divisions, so I kind of want them to do well in Div 1 this season.
Well, I won my game, so that's 2 wins for the Orcs.
Yeah.
Orc power.
Yeah, next game we had the Elf off that was actually finished when we were recording the last episode. But it was the High Sails versus Black Pyramid, and Black Pyramid taking a massive 3-1 win. Again on a very well-known team.
It seems to have been a really elfy game with 7 passes in total, and also the advantage in the armor breaks seems have been for the Wood Elves, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a bit of an odd game potentially. You'd think with a high scorer like that, it might have been the other way around, but yeah, I bet that was quite a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it sounded like a good game, and Longbong Silver got to legend thanks to it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good game regardless. So yeah, a win for Black Pyramid and Rift Cannon.
We hope that Longbong Silver doesn't start slacking like Knife Juggler.
The thing is, Knife Juggler wasn't good before Legend. That's the difference.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess once you've hit Legend, you've got nothing to work for, right? You're there.
Yeah, but you want to be like the best legend with the most SPP.
Oh, that's true. You can still see the what they get, yeah, can't you?
Are SPPs Beyond
Yeah,
Legend recorded
yeah.
in game?
Yes. I
Ah,
believe
nice.
Knife Juggler is like on 207 because he scored last game because he was the only one in a good position to score, and it made me sad.
Yeah, it feels like a waste
Yeah.
of SPPs, right? uh,
Yeah, next game we had Sage taking Manu Satra and his Orcs, the Slaanesh Slaughterers versus the Wa Orcs. I've seen that match on Twitch. Manu said he was happy that no one died, and Sage was happy that he won. But there was a pretty big MNG on one of his warriors. If I can find the team.
Oh, and he's playing metal this week, isn't he?
Yeah.
Week 2.
The
there was
next.
an MG in his Killer Warrior.
Yeah. The Clopomb warrior is going to be missing a game, so that's definitely going to be important for next week. We had the bye week to Viking Cup because Bobby Wintag left. And then we had another upset from the Orcs. Orcs drawing against Metal.
Mm.
Yeah, Orcs have been fighting back this week because, yeah, Manu Satra lost his game, but he definitely won the attrition war against the Sage.
Yeah, taking down a Clopomber even just for a game really hurts. So yeah, this is a game I heard a lot about from Metal because he was complaining. Like I was streaming something else while he was playing his match, and he complained. And I watched the podcast, and he complained. But
Yeah. Metal also suffered a big loss for his next game versus Sage. In this game, he lost his Beast of Nargle to a minus agility bust. Of course, minus agility for a Beast of Nargle means just MNG, but
I mean, it probably could have been worse. I mean, like, it's kind of he's missing a guard basically. I suppose, but
it's also a lot of strength that you're missing
yeah,
for a game.
it's strength 5 stand firm guard and block for this Beast of Nargle, so
I
it's a
mean,
good
it's
play.
obviously an important piece. But I think maybe against another bash team, having you know, he's going to be able to hit back more with the Warriors. Maybe it would have impacted more if he was playing against an agility team next. Is kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
In any case, this is going to be a bloodbath that I'm really sad to miss because apparently we have scheduled our next week games at the same time or something like that.
Aw.
Ugh.
Also, Filbo lost one of his guards from Metal for next game, and that makes me very happy because I get to play him next.
So it's an orc mirror then?
Yes.
Mm.
But I have guard, so I am.
Yeah, so he's
Like-
only going to have one guard going into that. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I have 6 guards and a lot of stand firm alongside that. It's not going to be an easy match for him.
No, definitely.
Yeah, for the last match of last week, we had T getting completely destroyed by the Skaven of
Minus
Gaudi.
Kevin. But sounds at first really sad because we were expecting the Yumis dying to chaos or orcs, but dying to rats is kind of embarrassing.
Well, I didn't watch the match because Metal told me not to watch the match because I would probably die if I watched T play, which makes a lot of sense. And like he told me T was pretty potato, which isn't surprising, but like if you go potato versus a good Skaven team, don't expect much.
Yeah,
That's-
I mean, I think that that Skaven team's got a really good chance this season, so it doesn't really surprise me to see it winning.
Yeah, this Kevin team is completely built for the bullshit. No, it's like you check it, and when I've been speaking with Gaudi, he told me I'm going for the bullshit, the sheer bullshit of the Skaven, and if you see his team, you can see that that's completely true.
Yes, that definitely with those AG5 gutter runners, 2 of them, don't like him. So yeah, those were the last week matches. For next week, we have Viking Corp taking poor General Marauder that had to lose to me last week. Any thoughts on that match?
I think that there are like 500,000 inducements. So I told General Marauder that I'm really intrigued to know which he's bringing on the pitch. Of course, I'm expecting bribes,
Yeah,
but besides that, I'm not sure. So we'll
bribes
see.
and all the fouls are my
All the fouls, of course, but all the fouls on both sides. So
yes.
he can expect me to return the favors. So not a problem. But yeah, we will see.
Yeah, next we have a very nice game between Metal against Sage. This is going to be a bloodbath, with Sage missing a Clopom warrior and Metal missing a beast, the Beast of Nergal. It's going to be a little bit interesting, but I believe they are really close on TV right now. So
Sure,
probably
it's
will
gonna be a
just
great game.
be like no inducement, just kill each other game.
It works for me.
Hey, it could work for everyone.
Yep. It
Except
works.
them.
Well, I get to play Metal Week 3, so I really hope it works for me.
Aha.
You could be rooting for the stage a little bit there then.
No bias here.
No bias. Next one we have Rift Cannon with the Black Pyramid taking T and the Umis. Do we think T is going to recover after going full potato once?
I know that if you go full potato against Black Pyramid, you end losing and dying. So, that's a hard call.
Definitely is. Like, T playing is always an interesting one, because sometimes he actually plays well, and then the match is good. And sometimes he go full potato and it's pretty funny.
Potato.
But yeah, I'm definitely
Missing
giving this
his,
one to Black Pyramid.
He's missing one of his like really high level killers as well.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
missing
with
Pedro
tackle.
that he bought from the market.
At
Did
least
that,
he didn't die.
was the movement there already?
Yes.
You didn't just
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Yep. Following up, we have Orc Haikus against Raven's Claws. Both teams won their first match, so going to be an interesting one because the Orcs did show they can beat Elves, but the Skaven are pretty bullshit.
Still, the Uru Haikus outstrength the Skaven squad really heavily. So if they can get the removals, I think that Gaudi can suffer a lot. But of course, we've seen every type of stupid plays from this Skaven work. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be quite a tough game for them actually. I always say that a really interesting matchup in general is Skaven versus Lizardmen, because you know Skaven have got the Claw Mighty Blow. They can really throw a spanner in the works for the Lizardmen, but in turn, Skaven can struggle with all the strength and guard.
Well,
Kind of similar here with the plus strengths. You know, he's same idea.
I think the Orc match is actually more interesting because from experience, the Skaven should have the upper hand against Lizardmen.
you think that?
Yeah, as a Lizardman coach, I think that, so that says a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, next we have the Orkov. Me,
Dorkov.
the Orkov. We're going to have a lot of that in Division 1. Like, be prepared. Yeah, so maybe Orc will War coached by me against Filbo's Fighting Fist. I'm feeling confident for
How
that one.
confident, yeah.
Like, I have, like, I'll show you my team. I have 6 guard and quite a lot of stand firm, and he has 1. Like, he's missing a Black Hawk, but he has a strength 4 lineman to balance the strength out. I just, like, he will get some inducement, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
I think he's I think dice would have to be a bit weird for you to lose.
Be
that much, to be
careful
honest,
with
just because of all the guard.
overconfidence.
Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, anything can happen in this game, but it's going to be a tough one for him.
Be sure to tell us when you're playing so we can join the stream.
Well, I usually don't stream my games because,
Boo.
like, my stream is like bottom tier quality memes.
Who cares? It's good for the memes.
Memes we have a lot of those. Yeah, so with Dreamify getting the bye week, which is Bobby
Which is a
Bintag's
real
team.
pity because this Dark Elf off would have been really beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
With if Bobby Bintag stayed, we would have had a lot of Dark Elf offs and a lot of Orcs off, and those would be glorious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So for the final match, we have Venechar and the High Sails versus Manusatra. So what do you think
Oh,
about that match? Because Manus didn't get hurt against Sage, really, and he does have some tackle and pomb and quite a lot of mighty blow. But Venechar has such a nasty team. Like this is nonsense.
Does he have sure hands? I don't think he does.
yeah. He has a legend with sure hands. Oh, you mean the orcs?
The Orcs, yeah.
Well, the Wood Elves don't have straight ball. They just have a strength 5 lineman instead.
I just
Yes.
assumed they had strip ball.
With an eagle, I think.
Uh, yeah, but he's still ridiculous. So yeah, it's really a matchup of how bullshit the elves are going to be, and the answer is probably a lot. But the question is it going to be enough? And like any match with Venechar is one worth looking at, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, with the right dice, that team I think could probably beat literally anything. So just play well and hope you get the right dice, and I think he can
Yeah.
win any game.
Yeah, if you get hot dice and you can remove the woodies, then the job is done. But if you don't expect to win against this kind of crazy agility, super
Yeah, like
madness team.
I still imagine how stupid it would be if Juan Ganjan still had the movement 10.
Yeah,
It,
that just shouldn't be allowed. Really,
like I played against it, and it was so nonsense that I just can't explain it.
Yeah, I played against him and I injured him twice. First time got up out, second time got minus move.
Yeah, you made all of our lives a lot easier.
Yeah, because it was an aberration. Come on,
Yeah.
just look at that. Movement 10, agility 6, sprint. No, no way, man, no way. Wrestle is the only skill I don't fully understand in this player.
Well,
But I
like
guess that
it was early in the development,
yeah,
so
I think that's Div 1 done, isn't it?
Division 1, but I had to cough, so I had to mute my mic, so because no one wants to hear that. So yeah, that's Division 1. I said this is high quality memes, but not high quality streams.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah, that's Division 1. Looking to have like a lot of interesting matches. Mostly going to be Sage versus Metal, because everyone wants to see them kill each other. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Last season it was a kind of disappointment. We were expecting a lot of blood, and there were only some battle hearts, some MNGs, not so many casualties at the end of the day. So it was kind of bleh.
yeah,
But I expect that this time it is going just wild and apocalyptic.
I hope so as well. So yeah, let's move on to Division 2. Let's some matches were already played in the next week.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
you ruined it. So yeah, let's. I see that you won your game. Why didn't we talk
Uh,
about it? Yeah.
yeah,
Underworld.
I think I did mention it briefly last week because I actually played before we did
Yes.
the thing. But yeah, he got pretty unlucky to be honest. His Mighty Blow, Claw, Storm Vermin didn't manage to get any significant removals. I think he did get an injury, but it regened. And I managed to, as you'd expect, take a few players out. And to kind of top it all off, he was in a really sketchy defensive position, and he tried to use his wizard defensively, and it didn't work. He rolled a 1 on the lightning bolt, kind of, to put a full stop on that game.
Oh, pity. When you're relying on this kind of plays and it doesn't work,
Yeah,
Oh, and the
yeah.
lineman got the MVP, the
That
minor
that
strength.
that
That
one really
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. I have to be honest, I didn't notice that at the time.
That's a lot of SPP.
Yeah. Yeah, it went pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Not gonna
So
lie.
following up, we have nostalgic memories. The Pro Elf team, I believe, coached by Lava Jackal, winning against the Major Bytes poor Norse team.
Don't
Did,
tell me that Major Byte got outbashed again. This time by us. Please no.
I really want to know. I hope not, but like you can never know. It seems
Oh,
like
Oh,
what's
look
this
at
SPPs?
yeah. Go back to that. I want to see that again.
Oh, come on!
so. We had 2 touchdowns on probably Civilization 3, and how many passes? Five passes?
Oh,
He must have just been
But
farming passes at some
but
point.
two
the Norse
passes from
also
our side also.
like this is the same amount of passes from Venejar versus Reef Cannon, and this is like we have Norse here. That makes no sense.
Yeah, but these Norse are really passy.
Yeah, it seems like Major I got more blocks but did less damage, so that definitely has to make him sad. Let's see if the team
Well,
the
he
team
had a lot
is.
of rookies.
Yep.
Yeah, he's lacking some mighty blow pieces. Only 2-1.
No SPP to Berserkers, I believe, so
Mm-hmm.
he's still away from that.
Maybe he can make a pass with one Berserker next game and level him.
Well, he made the 2 other passes, so very possibly. Ooh. After that, we have Bleeding Hippie against Kyakro, Snow White and 6 Dwarfs versus Humanly Bear. Bleeding Hippie taking that match. And I believe he injured the one turner, which we saw.
Yeah, he busted him in armor, was it?
Yes.
Maybe? It's not a big deal. I mean, human catchers have been armor 7 through 20 years, and it was not until Cyanide decided to give them an extra boost of armor then they get armor 8, so it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. It's you practically didn't lose anything.
And he's the natural one turner, so a lot of the time he won't even be on the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen 24 armor breaks in this game.
Yeah, 24 for 65
What?
blocks and 24
Six,
armor breaks.
how can this happen in a normal game? 65 blocks.
Base,
Yeah,
everything.
with no overtime or anything. That's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, come on.
Well, we have seen some like 200 blocks total games in overtime format, which
Yeah,
is
but
like complete.
in overtime.
Yeah,
This is 65 to 24.
I guess it's pretty hard. It can be quite hard for human teams to like disengage. So
yeah.
if
If you
the
fail,
Chaos Dwarves are just basing up all the time, fail a couple of dodges early in your turn, and then you're gonna get hit.
Are the humanly bear missing guarders, maybe?
they are just missing the.
To hit back? Not really. They have 5 guarders. That's kind of unexpected. Okay.
Well,
Bad
let's.
game, I guess.
Maybe some of the injuries were quick enough to make life hard.
Possibly.
Yeah, I wish that was like a metric that you could look at easier because it's actually huge. You know, you look at the end, you look at the stats at the end of the game, and the injuries or casts and removals could look almost the same,
Yeah.
but the story could be completely different. Like if all of one team, had all of their removals right in the first few turns, the whole game could have been really easy for them, and then the other team gets a couple right at the end of the game or something.
Yeah, like turn
Um,
16, you catch all the LOS.
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
no.
And that, and that you look at the stats after that game, it's not going to look like what actually happened.
So yeah, Bleeding Hippie taking probably a very important win because both teams are crazy. We also had Svaho versus some kind of potato, winning Svaho taking the win 2-1.
Potato!
Yeah, he is the official potato coach of Rebel.
No, no, he's the official. He was official, and he now is the king of potato, as we're going to
Ah,
check it later.
so yeah, this match will look a little bit more into later because there was some shenanigans from
Yeah.
some kind of wizard. But once again, a nice start for Svar. I believe he came from the rookies this season. Or he was a rookie in the past, at least I know. So taking somewhat of a veteran on the first week, that's definitely a morale boost.
Mhm.
Then we had Wendor versus the Fumbling Beige Militia, which are coached by Fedic. I don't remember all the coaches, I'm sorry.
This is a game that we are going to check briefly later also because it has one of the funniest begins of any game. I could not believe it when I checked it,
Ouch.
but it happened. Yeah, there were a lot of casualties,
Yes.
especially in the first half.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's an eagle.
that's an eagle.
That's
There's
not
Playing
an
an
him
eagle.
this
big
week as
knight.
well. I've had a favour handed to me. I think.
This game had everything. Had risky plays, had potatoes, had chainsaws. It was very fun to watch.
Chainsaws are the best. Yeah, that was a draw actually, despite the chaos getting so beat up. But then again,
Yep.
Urwendor is the master of draws.
No, it's true. It's true. Last season he got like 5 or 6.
Yeah. And we have seen, I believe, this match result also before. It was Ken Chorfs versus Big Easy TP's Chorfs, which is a Chorf off.
It's awful.
Yeah, and Ken lost, but if I remember, he actually really brought the pain to the other Chorfs. Oh, stop playing your matches so we don't remember. Yeah, Ken killing a guy and injuring 3 in total.
Mm.
Probably
Yeah.
like a nice match for him, even though he lost it.
Yeah, the final of this game was also very interesting. We may go to check later.
Yeah. And for the last match of Division 2, we had Mighty Reptile versus Cash Crew Part 2, which is JJ Cash versus Creighton. Humans taking down the lizards, that's not something you see every day.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, I'd say.
But that human team for memory is very elf-like. So maybe they were able to just run rounds around the source. Ooh, Ogre MNG'd. Is it an eagle? No, just an MNG for
Nah,
now.
MNG. Okay. How many players? 12. He needs some extra bench, but he has the cash.
He also
He
needs
can do
dirty
this.
player.
Please, please, guys, more
That,
dirty player.
that's an insane amount of blocks to give out when you're still winning. 60 blocks from the Lizardman. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, no damage on the human side, but still 12% possession, and they won the game.
Just
I am
like
thinking
steal the ball
of
and
a
score.
yeah, a quick sack and score.
Yeah.
2 passes also, yeah. This without watching the game, this sounds like a quick sack, pass and score.
It sounds
Yeah.
like a good one. Definitely would consider watching it back. MNG on the Ogre is probably going to be make the next opponent really happy. And I believe that would make uh, Kyakro. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting human off with Cash Crew
Humanov.
versus
Aye.
yeah, like one team missing their one turner and the other missing their ogre. So
It's quite big.
yeah, going to be a tough match for both. But I think the Cash Crow should have like slightly better blitzers, which maybe will be enough to recover from losing the ogre.
Well, by the looks of it, he plays more of a kind of, passing, running game anyway, rather than a bashy game. So maybe it won't like hinder his playstyle too much. I'm not sure.
Yeah, still sucks to lose your ogre, and
Oh,
now you
for
need to
sure.
face an
And
ogre.
big time in a human off.
Yeah, and you talked about your match a little bit before. You're going to face the beaten up chaos, and I really feel bad for those chaos.
Yeah,
Because
it's going to be a tough game for him. I think he's just over 400k in inducements.
yeah, that's
Ooh.
He's down a warrior. But yeah, like I outguard him. I think it's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah, still he has his 2 clawers, so it's a claw off.
Yeah,
And
he
you
can
don't
definitely
have a
he can
bench.
definitely still deal damage, and I don't have a bench either. So
You do not? Why?
my rosters just keep dying.
Stop losing rotters. Come on.
Or I need to kill more people so I get free ones.
Yeah, that's also a solution.
Yeah, he can go for probably lots of bribes and maybe into some dirty player beastmen and just try to murder your team. That's a strategy that can work.
Yeah, but I think that this at this TV difference, if the Nord will have the upper hand in terms of TV, um, it's going to be really hard for the Chaos team to win the game.
Well,
Yeah, I also think like I've got more players that can win the game for me, whereas he's really going to be relying on his claw mighty blow. Like if he loses those and I lose a couple of my key players, I've still got a few more to kind of carry the game for me.
right, it's going to be a tough match, but I think he can maybe get lucky and murder a couple of good players from your team quickly, and
Oh,
then
he
like
definitely has the
snowball.
chance there. Yeah, if like he gets to hit first and removes a couple of players, he could definitely take it.
So yeah, going to be an interesting one. Maybe, but probably just you smashing the Chaos team and everyone feeling sad.
I didn't know that people felt sad when Chaos teams died.
Well, the thing is, like, when the Chaos was already bullied last game, like, you start to feel bad. It's not like dwarves. We don't hate Chaos that much.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. We also had some kind of wizard already play Big Easy TP,
Potato.
and some kind of wizard probably Potato. Maybe not. We'll give him the benefit of the Potato.
Okay, we will. We
Yeah,
will.
it's a bit of a rough game for him actually. I noticed the match report before we came here, but I don't know if we should go over it now.
I see a dead MVP, and
yeah, so his mighty blow wolf died.
well, we'll talk about that next week. But that's
Oh,
probably
we will talk about this for sure next week. Just checking the bot. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm already regretting clicking on the match report because that's a lot of spoilers.
Yeah. Next week. So next game is Victor Reptiles versus the Norsemen, the brave Norsemen.
I don't
The
know.
question here is will the Norsemen survive?
Hopefully, probably not.
Yeah, they like we said briefly before, they're kind of lacking on their like bash skills a little bit. I think they're going to struggle against them.
They have a very nice old arena, but besides that, well, also the runners are quite good. But there are a lot of linemen. Linemen can be quite decent against lizards.
No
If the
dirty
lizards
player
don't have
though.
too much gun. No tackle, but a lot of block.
Yeah. The Lizardman does have like 3 guard and a couple of mighty blow alongside the Crocs. So you maybe get a strong AV7 and like remove a Source quickly and manage to like hold and then win the match that way. But it's going to be a tough one because the Lizards really outstrength you.
Yeah, but I've seen many games between lizards and Norse ending in one die contest for the Norse to pull back. You know, they can risk the one die versus the lizardmen, and a push is good enough of them for them to get unbased, say it. And if they can kill the skinks, because the skinks are very fragile against any Norse player, they may have a chance.
It's going to be a lot harder with no tackle mighty blow berserker to do the work. Yeah, I still think it's going to go to the Lizard, but I give like I want Major Buy to win. I really do. So next game we have Ken and Black and Wrecker versus Warpstone, Sneaky Servant, coached by Carlos Ibs. How beaten up are the Underworld?
Got a few players out of this game, definitely.
Uh,
Still got his multiplayer core. It's important.
Okay, 12-10 TV. That's not much.
yeah, but you need more players if you want to survive a full match. Because
Yeah, but
goblins
I
are
think
not good.
for sure. He will get like 500,000 inducements. Not that much.
Not,
Not that much, because Ken is missing also a bull centaur.
I believe it was to an eagle, if I remember correctly.
So
Yes.
it's like
No,
He
half.
already had the nickel.
the niggle was beforehand.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, but so it's like 300 TV in like 300k gold in inducements, and Underworld can try to make something with
Yeah.
that.
I think maybe trying to get some gutter runner star players, like Skitter Stab, and try to rely on gutter runners to carry the game. Because
How
gutter runners are
expensive?
good.
How expensive is Skeeter?
From
You
memory,
know?
he's like 160k or something
Ooh,
stupid cheap like
that
that.
means that he can get him and also a wizard and try to just play for the sacking play with the bolt. Could work.
Yeah. So many goblins against so much tackle mighty blow is going to be a bloodbath regardless though.
Yeah, and also I think that the Underworld are missing the Claw Mighty Blow Blitzer,
Yeah,
and
one of
that's a
them, but
shame.
they do have a claw
Ah, they
bomb.
have another. Okay. Okay, then they may have a chance. If the dice are hot, they may do have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Underworld do get mutation access on normals, so they are not really special, the Claw Mighty Blow Skaven Blitzers. They are just the normal build.
They may not be special, but they are incredibly efficient.
Yeah. They probably are one of the best like positionals period, but like the only thing that makes them bad is the team.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh, you have a team full of goblins. Good luck. So yeah, next match we have Wendor Chance versus Nostalgic Memories, which is Wendor versus Nostalgic Memory. Lava Jacqueline is Elf Union. So Nurgle versus very nonsense elves.
Yeah. This is actually quite an black and white game with a team that is really focused on ball plays, passing, running, and so on, and a counter team with a lot of disturbing presence and roadblocks. Slow versus fast, pass versus grind. This could be a very interesting one to watch.
No tackle from Wendor is going to make his life a lot more difficult, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe relying a bit on the tentacles from the beast if he needs to lock someone in place.
Yeah, but like just disturbing presence can someone mess with you enough to make you like either you forget about it or you are too much cautious about the threat and you just misplay and lose the game because of that. He definitely has a chance, but it's not going to be an easy game. And to finish, we have Svaho with BDSL against Bleeding the Hippie, Snow White and the Six Dwarfs. Dark Elves versus very nasty Dwarfs. Do we think the Elves can manage a match versus Dwarfs?
It's going to be very tricky for them, especially those ball centaurs. They like really shut down the kind of stuff that I think elf teams would do to try and deal with a trough team, like
Yeah.
trying to play the keep away game a little bit. And
Two Blodgers is with break tackle on the Bull Centaurs. That's nasty.
yeah, like normally you might try and bog the team down and break away with a few players or something, but it's quite hard to do that with those two ball centaurs. They're going to be coming after you.
The Elves are still like very blodgy, but It's not that effective against the Chorfs. It's going to be a tough match, I say.
I can't say. There is Wrestle Strip Ball Witchelf, is that? Yeah. She may be the best asset for the Dark Elves for this team because I didn't see any sure hands.
Yeah. There is no sure hands.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. That's a good spot.
And there is a Pomb Tackle Elf Blitzer. I think this one is new.
I
Which
think he
is
just, yeah, I think he got the piling on this right after the last game.
not going to be the best this match, but can be scary later on.
Well, the Chorfs have only one man on one Hobgoblin bench. So if the Dark Elves can remove a couple of these pieces, the Chorfs would be fielding less than 11 players, and for a slow team like that, that would be a bit punishing.
Yeah, every player they lose, makes a really big difference.
Also, no dirty player. Shame on you, Bleeding Hippie. Shame on you.
Shame. He's going to get a little bit of endorsement, especially when he removes the cash. He might be able to splash a little for a wizard, or he's going for a bribe, which
Bribe.
both are going to be quite annoying for the elves to deal with. The elves have a better chance because no sure hands from the Chorfs, but it's still going to be a tough match where you really hope you survive.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's Division 2. And it's looking quite promising still. Not enough blood yet, I would say. And no dirty player, which makes me sad. And Viking Cop
Yeah.
very sad.
Ah, don't remind me.
So next we have Division 3, the division we are going to fully cover. Ooh, no second match was played, which is very nice. Good job.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for making our lives easier.
This is why we pick you, because you're the best division, of course.
Division 3, best division.
Yeah. So let's go over the teams. We have Nordic Nooblets by Bainsy. They played
Hi.
against Samoa, which is
Some chaos.
Steve's Chaos.
Yeah.
And how are they looking? Ooh. I see a missing an MNG, or is it an Eagle? Probably an MNG on the runner, which is going to hurt a lot for next game.
Yeah, because it's a plus strength piece. That's a pity. Flash!
But
But 230 players, I'm so happy. I'm gonna cry.
no bench though. Like
Who needs it? He has 30 player.
and he gets quite a lot of inducement against everyone, being missing so much
Oh,
TV.
1150. No. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 players. So it's 1250 with 2 rookie linemen, 2 loners.
That's a lot of bribes.
Yeah, it's a lot of bribes and wizards and wow.
And Chinese.
Yeah, Cheney is going to be fielded most probably. Cheney is a great star player, to be honest.
So who does Bainsy get this week? Uh, why? Oh, he's playing Andy Davo, and
Oh,
that's going to be a lot of inducements, but it's not
that's
going
going
to
to
be
be
an easy one.
almost 600k inducements.
All the bribes in the world.
Please, yes.
Yeah, and his
Which, in
team.
fairness, is actually really good against all the blodge. It's a good way of dealing with that. Just foul them.
Bainsy do have a pomp tackle piece to maybe deal with all the
I think
blodge.
he had only one super hitter,
Yeah,
but he has it. If he can use it and protect, yes, he has. Mighty blow tackle piling on jump up pro juggernaut. Movement 5.
Yeah, he's going to be relying on that
yeah.
that guy a lot, isn't he?
But there is a very deep bench from Andy Davo. Actually, no, only one on the bench, but everyone has skills, except the witch. Which we should talk about Lady Killjoy. I believe it was a plus strength witch, which died.
Yay.
Yeah, he played versus the underworld, and we can see one death, and that's for the hero witch. I think the match was casted, and like someone talked about how he received the game, because I believe there was a bounty on that witch.
Gotta claim those bounties.
Yeah, so that's game one. Andy with his slightly less insane team, but still very scary team, going to probably have a good match versus Bainsy, even though there is a very good Berserker on the other side.
Yeah, also it's kind of tricky, isn't it? For the Norse, he's going to be relying on that player so much, but with the frenzy, he could easily get caught out and be susceptible to getting hit himself. And if Andy manages to get that blitzer out, I think his chances are going to be
Yep.
pretty slim from there on in.
The inducements are going to be interesting. So for the next game, we have the Non-High Elves by Mr. Ladybug.
I like this team.
Yep, they completely destroyed Random Boy in their last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they won 3-0, and they have a level up on the movement 10 guy. I'm assuming it's going to be sprint, because natural one turning is pretty strong.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Maybe he
Unless,
wants to give him a bit more protection, but I think it's usually best just to go straight for that.
no, I think this is the typical player that is benched most of the game, but when he has to make this run to the score line, um, I think yeah, sprint is the best option unless he rolls something also silly like
Uh,
plus agility or plus strength.
do you take plus strength on a movement 10?
When you go for the bullshit, you go for the bullshit.
Well, the thing is, like, what are
I'm
you
not sure.
going next after plus strength? You have like 2 skills before legend.
Blotch.
Blood?
And then you're a super super player with movement 10 strength 4, ag 4, blotcher.
I'm not sure if that's better than a natural one turner.
I'm not saying better, I'm saying funnier.
Funnier definitely. But like, if we go that route, you just roll another strength and like mighty blow on doubles, because who cares about blow?
Yeah, like Super Dragon. Okay. Yeah.
He's going to play the Amazons, the Locomotive Gist Stompers.
Ooh, the Kid Stompers. Ooh.
How did they won 2-0 against Revolutionary Corpses, which is the Camry team, I believe, by Luck Lazy. And I have seen him in chat as well. This is going to be an interesting one because, like, the Amazons are not are going to have both a lot of inducements. They definitely win the Blodge War, and they have like Tackle and Mighty Blow to deal with the Elves, and the Elves don't have that much bench. But a natural one turner is going to cause a lot of mess.
Yeah, if there is something the Amazons lack is velocity, because all their players are movement 6, so they need to really position well. Dodge kind of compensates positioning mistakes or holds between players, but when you're playing crazy team with high movement players, and this movement 10 can be deciding in terms of winning. In terms of casualties and damage, I think that the Amazons have the upper hand. They have a lower TV by far
Yeah,
because they have a lot of extra cash in here. I may see hiring a new lineman, and I would like to see a bit of fouling in this
yeah.
game.
I would like to see like 1 or 2 line women before the game being bought, and then like inducing a wizard and a bribe, trying to just foul the important pieces and murder the rest. It's going to be
Sounds
an
great.
interesting one because the elves can still do elf bullshit, but it's not going to be an easy match. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
I think that's going to be a close one, actually. I'm struggling to figure out who I'd kind of put my money on. I'm not sure.
definitely one to look for. And for the third match, we have Revolutionary Corpses, which is the Camry team. They faced the Amazon team and lost 2-0. And they are still very crazy Camry teams with the Strength 6 Agitu Camry, Tomb Guardian.
Yeah, that guy's great.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a silly player.
and they are going to face this week the Primetime Nibblers, which is Sean Mans.
Ooh, big rat, big
Big Rat.
rat.
They might have enough inducement to induce Big Rat.
Oh yeah.
4, 5, 6. Mm, just like if
So where's
they.
the team?
Hmm? Yeah. What happened? They played Brutal Deluxe, which is Dormac's human team, and they were brutal. I can guarantee you that because missing the stray ball for this game is going to be annoying.
They got brutalized.
Yeah, they lost 2-0. This is going to be a weird one because the Camry like probably have the the tools to protect the ball, but a wizard and the silly speed of gutter runners might be enough to win the game on its own.
Which got the runners? Only
Well,
3.
yeah, but one of them is a natural one-turner, and the other two, like one of them is two heads. So you're pretty fast if you need to score. And there is a Claw Bomb, Tackle Juggernaut Storm Vermin that can bring the pain. And another Claw Mighty Blow. This is looking good still for... not the right team. It's looking good for Shawman, but it's not going to be an easy one because there is a lot of Mighty Blow on the Camry team. And just Camry is annoying. And Dirty Player. Dirty Player.
Dirty
Bench.
player.
So yeah,
So
what...
3
Yeah.
guarders, 4 guarders in the Camry team. I think
And
that. Well,
I think Sean Mann is going to have to play his natural one turner on the pitch for most of the game, probably. So that might give the Kemri a chance to take him out before he can do his thing.
yeah, I think that
I'd be looking to do if I could.
this Kevin will need to rely on some lucky dice or favorable kick rolls, such as a good blitz, something like that, because they're going to be grinded into dust by this team.
Yeah, this is going to be a bloody one for the Skaven. But Skaven do the best when they don't have a team. So
Yeah,
they
indeed.
might still be able to win this. So
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
for the fourth match, we have Brutal Deluxe versus the Three Musketeers. Brutal Deluxe is Doc Mark's human team that brutalized Seanman's team. Ooh, I see an MNG on the killer. That's not going to be good for next game.
No bueno.
No bueno.
This is the Skaven team that has 2+ movement gutter runners, not just one.
Let's look at the Musketeers then. Yeah, 2+ movement.
This is a very nice squad. These humans.
And the Skaven are also quite nice.
Oh yes, they don't have much development as we mentioned last week, and then they're missing their utility lineman with kick and wrestle. Okay, not a big loss, but still a pity. But yeah, they have very nice guitar runners and some vermin that can do some job. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the dirty player. That's good.
They are going to get quite a bit of inducements against the humans, and they have the speed, so like
All
Skaven
the
with a
speed.
wizard is so scary.
All the speed.
Yeah, I think with a
Wow.
wizard, Skaven can win almost any game with a bit of luck. But it is going to be tough for him, and quite a scary game to go into. Like it's going to be one of those games that even if the Skaven do win it, like going into this, I'm going to be pretty worried about my team.
Well, the humans missing the pomp tackle guy definitely going to make the difference.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Because only one tackle mighty blow and no other tackle on the team. If you can
Yeah.
maybe catch him early on and foul him, that can like just take the game on its own.
No, you're completely right. I hadn't noticed that it was one of those guys was out. That is going to make a big difference, definitely.
Yeah. Going to be a scary match for the humans, even though like the Skaven don't look that developed. They are Skaven and they have a wizard and probably also a bribe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be either a bloodbath or a chain of bullshit plays, because the humans have 6 guarders, so they're not going to be afraid of basing all the rats and punching him to the floor once and again and again and again.
It's going to
Yeah, I mean,
be
just through sheer like quantity of blocks, I think the humans could do a lot of damage.
having 3 catchers does limit your option in basing though, because you don't really want to base with catchers. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, look at this catcher that Giovan Battista Sampieri, who is wrestle strip ball dauntless. This is a really nice player. Good sucker.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like a gut runner that the other team would like.
Less agility, more armor, a bit slower, but still. Yeah,
And actually, the Skaven don't have any sure hands, so the strip ball could actually come
he
in quite
can be.
useful there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can be a really annoying player this game.
Well, he might possibly buy a thrower or something like that for sure hands if he really is afraid. Yeah, so going to be an interesting match. Not so clear cut. I think the Skaven might have this. Just because Skaven.
Yeah, I'd maybe agree with that. I think it would depend a lot on like whether the humans can get some damage in quite early on. Even if they manage to do a decent amount of damage, but it's kind of in the second half or something, it might be too late. So they'll need to really be trying to get the hits in as much as possible in the first half, I think.
So
If the humans can win the Bash War, yeah, they can win the game. I'm trusting the humans to win this one.
yeah, for the next match we have Absolute Disaster versus the Gaian Raiders. Absolute Disaster.
Oh, Serumol.
Well, uh, Absolute Disaster is Thomas T, which is going to face Thermal. He won his game 2-1 against the Musketeers we have just seen. And this team is pretty interesting. Ooh, was the Juggernaut there last week?
I don't remember.
I don't think so, and Juggernaut is a pretty interesting pick. Because that really commits into being a surfer.
Well, it's a strength 4 surfer, so I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that actually. I like it a lot. He's going to be like really scary on the sidelines now, especially like right now he's only got one sidestep, but once he gets like a few sidestep with that surfer as well, scary.
Yeah, it's clear that Thomas T has 2 blitzers, both witch elves, so he can decide whether he wants to hit with the Mighty Blow 1, Mighty Blow tackle, so bring the opponent to the floor, or surf with the Frenzy plus Strength. Very, very, very interesting, very flexible. I like this.
Random Boy, I saved you for last because I wanted to look at your team last. Because you got smashed. And I wanted you to be here. See how kind I am? I completely didn't did a mistake and started with Bainsy instead and then forgot about your match. No, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice Dark Elf team. They are going to face Ceremol and the Gaian Raiders. How are
Got
theirs
one tackle. Went tackle first on a rotter. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that like
out
Yeah,
of
it's the first.
necessity?
this game.
It's the first tackle that Sermol builds in this squad. Um, he played in the playoffs versus Quiggy, if I remember correctly, with no tackle, and he also got a few bad rolls with pitch invasion first turn, this kind of stupid things happening that costed him the game eventually. Although he played brilliantly, I really like his game. No tackle, it's a pity. It's normal in Orinargel. First kill in a rotor tackle speaks of necessity.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
The team definitely feels lacking in development. He does have an army of rotters and dirty player. And he will get almost a bribe in inducement, so he might just put the bank for a bribe. And for memory, there is no bench for the Dark Elves. So maybe the game plan will be hope that you can kill them. No, there is one bench. That makes the match a lot harder for Ceremol.
Well, not all the Dark Elves have dodge. At least he will be finding 3 non-dodge players. And these are also players that probably Thomas will not be appoing if they get removed. So there's that for the Nargle team.
I think it's always going to be tough at this kind of team value for the Nurgle. You do have to kind of rely on things like fouling. So, like you said, getting the bribe might be a really good idea, even if he has to put some of his own money into it. And you can kind of, I mean, it's not like reliable, but working around things like your disturbing presence to stop them from like stalling in the backfield too much and needing to pass, or getting your tentacles into an annoying place or something. You kind of have to rely on those things a little bit more, which maybe ideally wouldn't actually be relying on them. But
Yeah.
you've seen
Also,
Ceramol do really well, so I think he's obviously able to
yeah.
get some good results with this team.
One of the typical plays from Dark Elf teams it's having a runner with ball and dumping it off when it gets blocked by opponent player.
Mm.
This is going to be harder if Sermon is able to place a few disturbing presence in range. It's going to make this passing play even harder
Yeah.
and may cause the Dark Elves to lose the ball, to lose control. So yeah, I
No, I think that's a really
think
good point actually. It kind of negates the Dark Elf thrower quite nicely, more than a lot of teams can do actually.
yeah.
I still think that the Dark Elf probably will have just a fine game, just walking up the pitch and scoring on turn 8. No need to pass really, which is why this is still going to be a very scary match for Ceremol.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely think the Dark Elves have the advantage here, just looking at the teams. Um, but there are certain things I think that Ceramel can do to kind of put things
On
more in his favor.
on the other hand, there are a few of Sermon's players at really close range of from leveling. One is PP or something like that.
Mm.
So maybe he doesn't have his best week this one, but next week he may have a more developed squad.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
then 50 from 51, 15 from 16, and 30 from 31, plus only one touchdown from the number 2, Fafak Nanti
That
from
really
leveling.
sounds like Papa Nasty, and
Yeah,
that's
actually it does.
probably unintentional as well.
I'd quite like to make a team and just name it after everyone in the league. Actually, that'd be quite good.
Well, my clan league team is named out after a lot of admins, mostly older admins, but it's doing pretty well. I'm undefeated, so it's a good naming theme.
Clearly working for you. So yeah, I definitely think that the Dark Elves have the advantage here, but I think the Nurgle will have a few things they can do to try and make it a little tricky for them.
Yeah, for the next game, one before last, we have Drop Dead Gorgeous versus Samoa, which is Undead versus Chaos. Crow Dog versus Steve.
What
Crow Dog.
happened with Crowdog? Oh,
He played last week against Thermal. I think his team was like no bench before that, but he is missing a game on a zombie as well for this week.
and he's still 10k short from buying his second white. That I'm sure that he will be trying to recover. Still a lot of zombos. That's good. A lot of inducements. That's bribes. A lot of guard. Who's he playing?
He's playing Samoa by Steve, the Chaos team.
Okay,
He's not
chaos. So
he's not going to get that much inducement, but this Chaos team is the
Oh,
boring Chaos team.
wait, wait, wait. This could be a very interesting match, much in favor of Crow Dog, because this chaos has zero guard. They have a lot of block, mighty blow, 4 strength for plays, blah blah. No guard. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, if with the stand firm as well on the flesh golems, obviously that's the kind of thing that could actually really swing it. Like if he positions his guard well, he could complete you just negate all that mighty blow because yeah, great you've got mighty blow, but you can't actually hit me.
Mm.
So that could be really interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I'd actually maybe put my money on Crowdog for that one, even though his team's all so beat up.
yeah.
I would too, because he's getting like 300k in inducements. That could mean easily a wizard on the babe.
Maybe even
And
Cheney.
yeah, also. And he has Claw Mighty Blow in his team. So he has a good wolf, killer piece, plus a lot of guard. This amount of guard can give him the strength advantage in the boss fight. He will be needing some bench though, so only 7 active players in this squad is kind of crazy.
He does
Because it will
have
be,
regen though, so maybe that
yeah,
can save him.
hopefully.
Yeah, going.
I mean, I think it shows actually like how good it is getting the guard on the zombies. Like, you know, if those zombies were just rookies or they had wrestle or just block or something, like I think this could look completely different. But going from say having 3 guard to having like 5 or 6 makes a massive difference. You can really just overload the opponent when you have that much guard and they don't have any.
Yep. It's going to be a confusing match. I think, like at least for my opinion, the Necro has a tiny advantage, but Mighty Blow can just like destroy it very quickly.
Yeah, I guess Chaos Coach is really going to want to win the coin toss and get to hit first and be able to get that mighty blow to use as quickly as possible. What I'd say.
Still, zombies are quite resilient, even versus Mighty Blow, because of, okay, armor 8 is decent, and regen, when it works, is very nice. Also, it can happen also that the Necro team kills a goat, and then they get an extra zombo. That's very funny.
Always
Yeah, which
something
you
to
can.
look out for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that could be a really interesting game to watch. Actually, it could be quite a tactical game, just because of the two teams specifically, the way they're going to work playing against each other. Like,
Steve saying that they are welcome to regen and come back for more SPPs providing. I remember Who was last season? It was Sinch, who made like 13 casualties in one game versus Camry because he kept injuring his players and they kept regen in and coming back to the pitch to be casualtied again and in an infinite cycle. I think he got like 13 casualties in one game. It was so awesome.
That's insane.
All right, well maybe that happened this game. There we go.
Now for the last match that I completely planned to put as last, we have Bloodsucker Inc. versus Underworld Unimpressive, which is Random Boy versus JP Casey. For the Underworld, well, they played Andy Davo last week and lost 3-0. But the team looks to be somewhat intact, except the throwers. The throwers are not have not survived well. One of them died, one of them MNG'd.
In the same game?
Yes.
Oh, that's tough. And he doesn't have cash to get a new one, but okay, so let me next. That's at least not an eagle. It's a blotch, two-headed piece. That's kind of interesting. And then what we have in the gobo folder, two heads, extra arms, plus strength, arms, two heads. So yeah, the gobos look nice.
I mean that is pretty crazy. That's a strength 4 blitz getting into your cage on a 3+.
He can one dice a vampire on a blitz
Yeah.
inside a cage, which can actually work. But at this
Could. I mean, the
team,
vampires, he's probably going to be on his blodge guy, so you're looking for that POW, but it's definitely possible.
Okay, I guess that this time the Underworld are getting the inducements versus the vamps. This is not usual, not common.
well, Underworld definitely play low TV most of the time, and Vamps get bloaty.
Let's have a look at the vamps.
Yes. Random Boy, so happy right now in chat because people talk about his team.
He's saying that he forgot to name his fourth vamp, but Count Vladimir Rasputin is actually a cool name.
Yeah,
Worked out alright.
like that's a legitimate name.
He's the heir of the boss, if I remember correctly. Oh, the guard block minus move lineman or minus move thrall is gone. Oh, that's a pity.
Oh. Chose died? Well, he did get completely wrecked by Ladybug's elves, and someone died. Probably Chores. F.
Yeah, he was a nice player. He made a good appearance in the playoffs. Still, the teams look solid with two block pieces, Oracle, so a sucker, kicker, dirty player, I approve. And the bumps are looking really nice. Only a rookie one that may level if he gets lucky in one or two games. Still no bench.
Well, one bench right now, but that's usually not
that
enough.
doesn't count with bumps, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a bit of a tricky time for the vampire team as well. Every time you kind of get a new vampire before it's had a chance to level up once or twice, things can be a little bit tricky because you've got that extra team value you're carrying around, but an extra piece that can roll a 1 and mess with your game and all the rest of it before it's leveled up can be kind of hard to deal with, I suppose.
Yeah, but still it's a strength 4 agility 4 piece with Hypnogaze, with Regen,
Bloodlust.
with Bloodlust, as we have seen in Division 6C. And
I casted that match live, and like Donkey Dragon just not scoring because of Bloodlust was so funny.
It was a game that I was really looking forward to. It's not belonging to this recap, but these were two of my clan mates, really nice guys and good coaches, and it was so funny watching this game, watching them killing each other and then making these stupid plays. That was so fun. So, well, yes, this Vamp squad looks solid, and we know that the coach knows what he's doing. So they are
Ah,
dangerous. You don't what?
I'm not
You
sure if
have?
Random Boy knows what he's doing yet.
Yes, he was dicing his opponents to death last playoffs when I followed the Vamps. So that works.
Yep. Just roll sixes. Pro
Yes,
tactics
Bronx.
from Viking Corp.
They got a beating in terms of touchdown result. I mean, it was a 3-0, but by the Elf team. I think that the Elf abused the higher level of agility and speed also, and then they got them. But it doesn't count. It's just a loss.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to put, I think if I had to put my money on someone this game, it probably would be the vampires.
Yeah, the Underworld feel a little bit too undeveloped. Like not having good Blitzer killers yet. And no
Yeah.
good troll. And so much
No,
like team value on goblins is not going
yeah,
to be enough.
no sure hands, no throwers, rookie blitzer, movement 6, mighty blow tackle, blitzer, rookie troll, and a lot of development in gobos. He will
Yeah, and
need to,
he to be.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
carry on.
No, he will need to pull some real high class bullshit to make this work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think it's actually really nice having the two wrestle tackle linemen. Like, that's something you really want, but um, it's the same as with the goblins, right? I think right now, like, you'd rather that team value than your blitzers if you had to choose one or the other.
Yeah, so that would be the full division of Division 3. Completely in the correct order.
Completely intentional.
Yeah, 100% intentional. You count like 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1.
That's how everyone does it.
Yeah.
It works. So we are done with the recap of the three divisions. That was faster than last season. That's good that we have
We're
learned to
improving.
keep the pace. We're improving, yes. And now I think it's time to go for some highlights of one of some of the funkiest and funniest plays we've seen. Any suggestion on where should we begin with?
Up to you, really.
Okay, I got the first message from uh, who was it? Whoa. Yeah, Division 2. All the feedback, in fact, is from Division 2. And I got, well, looking through it. Yeah, I got a message from Urwandor, who told me of the best first turn in history for his opponent that we can have a
Oh,
look.
why doesn't it let me watch the replay? It's too
He
late.
played the second game, maybe? Ah, no, he's just
Okay.
loading.
No,
Um,
this is really weird. Cyanide is stupid.
yeah, well.
Damn it, cyanide.
Are the bugs already working? The wizard bug and the leader bug and some others around. There is a apple bug at the moment running,
What's
in
that?
which the apple doesn't work sometimes. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just completely random, or is it in certain situations?
If you wait like more than 3 seconds, it can happen. But when it happens is probably random. We don't know why it happens.
Yeah, there's not a pattern.
Bloody
So,
hell, I'd lose my shit if like someone died and it wouldn't let me use the app.
well, you play with a regent team, so that's not a problem for you.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you know, I have other teams.
Okay, so this is a Nargle versus Chaos matchup. So blood is on the menu, and then we have a chainsaw,
Love
and
chainsaws.
yeah, we are just setting the attack for the Chaos team because they choose to attack as they should always do. And yeah, let's see what
Kick
happens. The first action of the game is something like a master course that what you should not do, but okay. Okay, kick was a touchback. That's very nice for the Chaos team.
should have gave
And
the
then
chainsaw the ball.
yeah, of course, why not?
Oh, does he do chainsaw on his first action?
And then you start the game with a chainsaw block that ends up niggling the beast of Nargle,
No
which
regen.
doesn't regen and also claims a bounty.
What a start.
So it was a good start. Guys, please do never do that again. So the rest of the game was a kind of crazy comes and goes of blocks, no fouls that made me really sad. But at the end of at first half were like 5 injured players in total, and that's good.
So that's the first game we are going to slightly show off. What's the next one?
I think that we can follow with Ken's Chorf up.
Chorf up.
The replay is dead because it was played.
Oh,
too
come
long.
on, because they were so
They
quick
played
to
too
play.
early.
Okay, that leaves us with the
People being too
some
efficient.
kind of wizard funny turn 16 play that I think it's gone too.
No, it says it's
No,
up.
no, because this is not the game. This is the game, yeah.
This is
the game. Yeah, this was something that I had to watch a couple of times to understand, and ended up not understanding it at all.
Well, that's pretty much some kind of wizard's play style.
Potato.
Yes. So, which turn are we looking for?
Turn 15. I think that from turn the game was very interesting to watch. I mean the repeat, because the two teams are really well developed and both coaches seem to know what they were doing. But yeah, turn 16 was the good one. So first half ended 1-1 because the Necro scored in
Yeah,
their
they
drive,
scored
and then
quickly.
in the Dark Elves scored in 2 turns.
So,
We can go a bit further because I think there was a riot in the kickoff. Yes, there
Too
was.
many
Which one,
turns.
So
the Dark Elves or the Necro turn?
So we have here the ball in a ghoul's hands, marked by the Dark Elves.
And
Then the
they
witch is going in to try for the sack.
push
Random
into.
dodge there, isn't it? Oh no, the screen dodge.
Push with strip ball, good enough, and then it's cool, bringing her down. But okay, the ball is loose. Still,
Nice.
no deep defense from the Dark Elves because they seem to be all in offensive, trying to go for the aggressive sack, and thus blocking the scoring chances of the Necro. But you know when you have no rerolls, you can just pick the ball, make a handoff, and run for the score line because potato.
It worked.
And then just make a couple of random blocks just to try to get yourself in a better position. Blocks are pushes, so no big deal. Or yeah, defender stumbles with dodge, doesn't work. No big damage in this game. That was kind of surprising, but okay. There was only one injury for the Dark Elves. And then when I see this picture, we have okay. There's
How do you
a
stop the
block.
Necro?
Now, how do you stop the big question is how do you stop the Necro from scoring?
Does look pretty safe.
Just dodge one dice with the runner?
What skills does the werewolf has that's got the ball?
Oh, it's the strength
It's got-
It's
4.
strength
Strength
4.
four.
It's a red dice.
Just do
That-
the half die.
Doesn't work. Okay. He tries to bring some pressure. Good for him. But still, it's strength for Wolf doing the job. Dark Elves trying to take some additional blocks for SPPs. No luck though. Okay.
And the
The game is
Necro's still
almost
got
over. This
free
smells
wall
like a draw.
blocks if he needs to get the ball carrier free.
And now something really weird has to happen. Who gets a push?
Double skulls. Mhm.
Ooh. Was it a blitz?
No, don't think it was.
It was a brain fart.
Whoops. Oh dear. I
It
have
was
to say,
like,
I've probably done the same thing before. That must have made me very angry. And it can happen as well. I've done it before where like you select a player and you even select blitz, but then you like accidentally click off somewhere else or something, and then you come back and
and then Nathel rewards you with dab skulls, of course.
Good job, Nafel.
Good job, Nathel. Yes.
oh, I bet he was angry
Uh,
at himself about
no, it was kind of yeah, mistake. Maybe a misclick, or maybe just not realizing that. Yeah, it was turn 16. It's pity, but yeah, this costed some Kinda Wizard the draw. So good for the Darkles.
You have to be happy as Vaho with that.
Of course.
that. He's probably jumping up and down in his seat.
Like, oh, we forgot, yes!
Thank you so much for that.
All right. Is that all the things
Yeah,
that were submitted?
I
for-
think this is all the feedback I got from our coaches from divisions 1 to 3 this week.
Cool. So I think next week we'll maybe do a bit more of a focus on Div 2. We're going to like work our way up. But you know, we'll cover them all like we have this week, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, so for next week, remember to send any sort of nonsense that happens to Viking Cop so we could know about it. And if you played early in the week, maybe mention it as well, because the replays get deleted after a week, and we might miss them, which is not good. But yeah, those were the top 3 divisions of Gman. I was joined by Viking Cop
Hi guys.
and
Goodbye.
Infinite Pink.
See you guys. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks to everyone that watched, and either on Twitch or on YouTube. And we'll see you next week with more G-Man action.